Hi everyone. So rejection, the big killer in changing careers. You are going to have to face rejection, and it does not feel good, especially when you already feel like, am I making the right choice? And then you get rejection after rejection. So difficult. When I changed from education into my current role, delivery management, I've had a really tough time in terms of the number of applications I sent out and the number of rejections that I got in. In fact, even after I'd gotten my new position, I was getting rejection letters for 6 months after I'd gotten my new position. So I'm going to talk to you today about what you can do to deal with rejection, how it can help you in terms of maintaining a bit more of a positive spin on the work you're doing. Again, as a coach, I can help you one-to-one on that, or feel free to add a comment and we can sort of talk through some ideas, or I can make a video based on some of the issues that we're having as a group. So the main thing about rejection is it feels like a failure. Because generally in society we've sort of determined that being rejected, sort of, you imagine that there's a group of people, let's say the group you want to join, you're then rejected from that group. Okay, it's a failure. Okay, it's almost hardwired into our brains that if we are not part of a group, if we can't join a group, we are rejected from the group, we are a failure. And so this rejection from a role feels like a failure, and it's like I said, it's hardwired into us, and so we have to actually spend a bit of time to analyze what we're thinking in order to get over this. And sometimes this can be especially difficult when it's a role that you think is absolutely perfect for you, and you think this is going to be ideal. You spend loads of time tailoring your cover letter, everything's perfect, and you apply and you get rejected. And sometimes it's worse when you get a rejection email within sort of 24 hours because you think, did they even read my application, or was it just some AI that just choked me out? But again, you got to think, right, every no is just one step closer to that yes. And it is a numbers game when you're changing career, when you're applying for a job. It's all about applying. The amount of times you apply, the more chances you have. The more no's you have, the more chances you have of the next one being a yes. And you only need one yes, right? You can have hundreds of no's, and I had hundreds of no's, literally. But you just need one yes, and that's what I got. And you also got to recognize that rejection is not it's not a reflection on your worth. It just means that you at the moment are not a fit for that particular company, right? Or they have not recognized the value that you could bring, but at the moment you're not a fit for that. You're not a good fit for that company based on the recruiter. Not a single part of that is a judgment on you as an individual. It's not a judgment on who you are and your abilities. It's a rejection based on the fact that at the moment you've not been selected because there are other candidates. And if you're doing a career change, that's quite common, because they're going to look at your past history and you think, okay, do we want to offer this person a job and essentially take a risk because they've not been in this industry before, or should we offer it to this other person who maybe looks not quite as good, but he's got a history? So don't forget, you're battling against two things there. You're battling against both the number of applicants, but also the fact that other applicants are likely to have a bit more career history than you in that same field. And this is, of course, where your cover letter comes in terms of boosting that. But you have to recognize that going for a new job in your current career is going to be easier than going for a new job in a new career. And so you have to expect twice, maybe triple the number of no's. But again, not a reflection of who you are. Like I said, when I started to apply for a career change role, I spent loads of time applying, and I had loads of difficulty. I had loads of no's come back, and it really shook my confidence when I had a no. But I learned to build myself up there. I learned to understand that actually a no, it just means I'm closer to a yes. Okay, so the next one could be a yes. And I just kept that confidence. I kept going and I kept pushing through. As a coach, I can help you in terms of techniques that you can use in order to sort of help yourself. And I found personally, for myself, meditation helps massively. I know a lot of people sort of think of that word and just sort of switch off, but I find meditation helps massively in terms of keeping that focus and keeping that your eye on the prize, essentially, which is the next application, which could be the one that's going to get you through. All right, I'm sure many of you have had similar difficulties in terms of applying for jobs, trying to make that career change. I'd love to hear from people in the comment section, so feel free to add a comment. any difficulties that you've had in terms of applying for jobs and how you overcame those difficulties would be really super interesting to hear. All right, thanks for listening, everyone. Be sure to press subscribe and like, and I'll speak to you later.